where we begin with a few committee reports and then closed session. And so we know that the chair of the Citizen Complaint Committee has been patient with us over the past few weeks and wanting to make new business. And so we began with him. Citizen Complaint Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that. But before I do that, I have something else I want to put out there if I could.
As new business?
Yes, as new business.
Okay.
And the new business is we have I have another item of new business. Before I get to that, my report as well as as we all know, there was a recent OIG recommendation to discipline Melanie White for abusing her authority and violating the charter. Regarding personnel matters, overall, she gave raises, promotions, and hired people without the approval of the full board, even after she was fully aware of the 2019 OIG report, which says not to do that. You can see on page 5 of the recent OIG report. Also, there are payroll records of those actions and records that Ms. White pocketed over $35,000 in taxpayer dollars above her salary in the last 6 months of the 2022 agenda. These documents that were given before, they are being given to you today. Therefore, I move to unappoint the executive manager of the policy, Melanie White, effective immediately. Is there a second?
Second.
1 second, parliamentarian.
Can't understand.
So the motion would be to rescind the appointment, not to unappoint. So the motion is that the executive manager policy position be rescinded.
I move that we rescind the motion of the executive.
Rescind the appointment.
Rescind the appointment
of executive manager policy Melanie White.
Of executive policy manager Melanie White.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. There was no previous notice. Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, I have some paperwork to back everything up right here. Mr. Rory, can you pass everything down, please? Sure. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Vice Chair Holly.
Mr. Chairman, to my understanding, to my colleague, given to the Personnel Training Committee about a month ago. I don't know what this commissioner dealing with an issue that's in my domain. So I'm just saying to you, this is out of order. This is out of order. You gave this to now I know I'm not going to be here, but you gave it not to me, but to the Personnel Training Committee.
So
I'm just saying
through the chair,
that is out of order. You gave that to us.
Okay.
And so he has, if he do his job, it would be nice if he just do that. But don't be doing the job that you asked me to do. And then you all delayed it because I was about ready to report it. And then you come up with this hocus pocus stuff that he's talking about. And I see it just like that. So, but not to you, Mr. Chairman.
No, I truly understand, and no offense, Vice Chair Holly, but the information that he's referring to was a report that came out after the matter had been determined in the Personnel and Training Committee. So I was unaware that this would be a motion, but again, it is the commissioner's right to lift this motion.
Thank you.
And again, that information was provided after the committee had met.
Because the OIG report came out 3 weeks ago, right?
Yes, after the committee.
This is the OIG report
on this issue. So is there any further discussion?
So, Mr. Chair, I have a right to make a motion. Is that correct?
Motion has been made. There's a motion on the floor that you made. Now we're having discussion on that motion. Any further discussion? Commissioner Bell.
Mr. Chairman, my understanding of this report, this investigation is not completed. It's still pending matters concerning this matter. So therefore, I think the OIG requested that we sort of hold this in abeyance in terms of confidentiality in reference to not releasing. Then also the person entitled to employment rights to have a hearing in reference to this matter.
100%.
So I think that motion is not in order.
Well, the motion is in order because it has been made. And while I understand that in an adjudication of disciplinary action, the employee in question may be able to defend themselves, but the appointments of this position, it is of no cause. I mean, the board has the right to, what was the word we
With
used?
or without cause to rescind.
Rescind. We have the right to rescind with or without cause. Any further discussion? Right, hearing none. Again, it has been stated, since there was no previous notice of this motion, it requires 2/3 in order to be adopted. Roll call vote.
Chairperson Quantes Presley,
Yes. And again, the motion is to rescind emergency manager policy. Melanie White. Yes.
Vice Chair Jim Holly,
Absolutely not.
Commissioner Tamara Liberty Smith,
You can come back to her.
Commissioner Linda Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Cedric Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Willie Bell,
No.
Commissioner Willie Burton,
Yes.
Commissioner Lisa Carter,
No.
Commissioner Roy Gamble,
No.
Commissioner Tamara Liberty Smith,
As I'm quickly reading,
I can't hear you.
no.
She's reading.
I heard her.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 yes votes and 5
no votes, which means that motion fails. Commissioner Banks. To the chair. Commissioner Banks still has the floor because, again, this is under new business, and we were actually under his citizens complaint report when he decided to lift another motion.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right. On behalf of the Board of Police Commissioners, Citizens Complaint Committee, please see key updates from the committee meetings held on October the 24th, 2023. The committee discussion was important for understanding procedural justice and the DPD program and its achievements. From inception in 2019, the DPD program has collaborated with the board through our Office of Chief Investigator to include residents who have filed non-criminal complaints, misconduct complaints, and workshops. The board reiterated its support for procedural justice, restorative practices in its 2020 resolution, affirming support of President Obama report of 21st century policing. Most recent, the board voted in December 2022 to expand our Wayne State partnership by participating with Wayne Law, ABA Legal Education, Police Practices Consortium for a special focus on civilian oversight of law enforcement, procedural justice, its role in complaints, and in police community relations is one of 9 areas BOPC originally proposed for review. The Citizens Complaint Committee meeting provided a forum for DPD to provide background and updates to the board, public, and connect the ABA fellows with the program leaders. In the past, police commissioners, including myself, have participated in some of the workshops. ACUing will keep the committee and the board informed about the program, its workshop, and outcomes. presentations on the DPD Procedural Justice Program. Assistant Chief of Police Eric Ewing, the meeting agenda featured a presentation on the DPD Procedural Justice Program. The committee invited Assistant Chief of Police Eric Ewing, who created the program. AC Ewing discussed his reasons for initiating the program in Detroit and its goals. And summary, DPD holds 4 to 5 sessions of community workshops each year with a mix of residents and officers attending. The workshops are by precinct, and DPD may invite OCI complainants with complete investigation and other precincts residents to workshops at community locations. Officers are on duty, but in plain clothes, because among other things, attendees must guess who is or is not a police officer. Attendees also watch videos to engage in role reversal and other exercises and talk frankly about policing and public trust. At least one workshop had a mediation between a complainant and officer. Overall, AC Ewing reported some effective outcomes along with plans to compile data to help document programs result. Q&A on procedural justice programs with committee and Wayne Law ABA fellows. The committee also invited 2 Wayne Law students to engage in a question and answer session with AC Ewing and committee. The students are fellows in a research collaboration between the BOPC and Wayne State University. After his presentation, the law fellows Emily LaRosa and Molly Moaning led the Q&A with the ABA Fellowship Director Rebecca Robichaud joining by Zoom. The board can expect updates as the fellows continue their research. You know, Mr. Chair, I just want to say that was beautiful. What we had out on last Tuesday, we had the Wayne State law professor, and we had Molly and Emily. They were 2 great students at Wayne State. They study law, and they're some hungry, tenacious young sponges that really gleamed off of the Chief Ewing. Really gleamed strong. They're very excited about being a part of this Citizens Complaint Committee, and they're happy. They mentioned they want to continuously come out as much as they can. So it was really, really a blessing. And of course, AC Ewing really delivered a great presentation. He took us into some history. He brought up a lot of history about slavery and things. It was just really wonderful. It was a great learning experience. So back to you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate that platform.
Thank you. Is there any questions for the Citizen Complaint Committee report? And hearing none, we'll now move to the Policy Committee report by Chair Bernard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.